Yo, Adam Saxton here with Guy in a Cube, and in this video, we are gonna break down what Power BI costs. Stay tuned. If you're finding us for the first time, be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all the videos from both Patrick and myself. I did this video a while back and a lot has changed since then, so I wanted to update it and make it relevant to where we are at today. The first place to start, if you're not familiar with Power BI or what the pricing is to go to powerbi.com, select pricing up on the top menu, and you will be presented with a couple options. First off, Power BI Desktop, you can get that. It is free. It is the authoring tool of Power BI. You can create those reports, you can import data, model, shape your data. Everything's great. You can do all that at no charge. Then we've got Power BI Pro. In the US, this is $9.99 a month per user. So however many Pro users you've got, it's going to cost you about $10 a month. So however many Pro users you have, it's going to be $9.99 a month for however many users you have. Then we've got Power BI Premium. The pricing of Premium is going to depend on which SKU that you get. So we have different options for you that have bigger sizes and smaller sizes. And so you're going to have to figure out what's going to work right for your organization with that. And there is a pricing calculator to try and help you with that. I'm going to have a video later on to go a little bit more in depth on this to help you understand what's going to be the right capacity for you. So stay tuned on that. All right, so that's it, right? Not quite. So I get a lot of questions around how does this even work? And there's other factors that come into play. Some people look at this and go, well, what about Office 365? Do I need to buy that? And when I come back to the Office 365 piece, I always bring up the fact that, do you really pay for Office 365? And the answer is you don't. You pay for subscriptions inside of Office 365. And Power BI Pro is a subscription inside of Office 365, the same with Power BI Premium. So for example, I could have a business account or a business email that has never been tied to Microsoft before. I can go ahead and sign up for Power BI and try Pro for free. And at that point, I'm in there. I could take over and manage that tenant that was created. And I could get to the Office 365 Admin Center. I could get to the Azure portal and look at Azure Active Directory. I could use Power BI. I'm still not paying for anything. So you pay for subscriptions. I also get questions about, well, do I need Azure Active Directory if I'm using Power BI? And the answer is yes, Azure Active Directory will be there. You don't have to pay for Azure Active Directory unless you are trying to use some more of the advanced options, which may require an Azure Active Directory premium license. So things like multi-factor authentication or conditional access, things like that. And I'll have a link down below to a page that describes the differences between the tiers for Azure Active Directory. And while we're still talking about Office 365 and Azure Active Directory, another thing to realize is if your organization is purchasing the E5 subscription for Office 365, so this is the big enterprise subscription, that includes Power BI Pro. So you don't need to purchase Pro outside of that. If you have E5, you're good to go. All right, let's talk dedicated capacity. So dedicated capacity includes both Power BI Premium and it includes the Azure Power BI embedded resource that you can purchase from the Azure side. So it's a question of where you want to purchase it from and where you want your billing to happen. For Power BI Premium, you're going to do this from the Office 365 Admin Center or the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. And so that's going to be a subscription from the 365 side of things. For Azure Power BI embedded for that resource, you're going to purchase that from the Azure portal itself. So this is going to be bound to an Azure subscription that you're going to pay as part of that. Another aspect of Premium is going to be multi-geo. So this has to do with data residency and where your data is actually going to reside. I'm going to have a video both on multi-geo walking through that as well as talking about your home region and what that all means. But just know that if you're doing multi-geo, it could mean that you're going to have to pay for multiple premium nodes to cover the regions that you want to be in. So there could be added costs there. And another topic that I get a ton of questions on is, how much does Power BI Report Server cost? And what do I need to purchase in order to have a license for that? There are two ways that you can get Power BI Report Server. One is you've purchased Power BI Premium, one of the P SKUs, so P1 or higher. So the EM SKUs do not cover you on this. If you've purchased a P1 or higher, you do get the product key for Power BI Report Server to install it in a production environment. and you're covered for whatever the resources are that you purchased on the premium side. So however many virtual cores you purchase there, you are covered on the Power BI report server for the same amount of cores. The other way you can purchase Power BI report server is to purchase SQL Server Enterprise Edition with a software assurance agreement. And again, this is going to be bound to however many cores that you purchased on the SQL Server side. And I believe it's a minimum of 4 cores. But Adam, what about the gateway? I've got to pay for that, right? No, you don't have to pay for the gateway. It's just part of the service. You can install the on-premises data gateway and you can use that to refresh your data or use direct query or live connections. It doesn't have an extra cost associated to it. All right, let's talk about egress charges. So if you're familiar with Azure and Azure services, you may be familiar with egress charges. I get questions sometime with Power BI. People will be like, no, it can't be that simple. It's not, you don't just pay for your pro license and that's it. You're going to get all these other charges that come with it. And the answer there is you won't. You pay for pro, you pay for premium. That's it. There are no egress charges from a Power BI perspective. Now, from the Azure side, that's a whole other story. And so what egress charges are is this idea of, say, if you've got an Azure Blob Store and it's sitting in South Central Data Center, and I've got Power BI and Power BI is in the West US Data Center, the minute data leaves the South Central Data Center for Azure Blob Store and it crosses that data center boundary, you are going to incur an egress charge. So it's not necessarily Power BI that's charging you, but if you're doing some sort of data refresh against that Azure Blob Store, you're going to pay for the egress charge on there. So you want to pay very close attention to where your home region is. Again, I'm going to have a video on that. Stay tuned. And where your other services are that Power BI is interacting with. That's going to be really important to avoid those egress charges. And it's also going to be really important to understand data residency. All right, what other questions do you have about cost and Power BI? Go ahead and leave that down in the comments below and let me know. If you like this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, smash it if you so desire. If it's your first time here, hit that subscribe button. And as always, from both Patrick and myself, thank you so much for watching. Keep being awesome, and we'll see you in the next video.